Hello and welcome to HITC Sport. Right, okay, the transfer window's been open for 11 days and there's been pretty much no deals. Most of what you'll have read will have been dreamt up by a bored journalist on their lunch break. Mario Balotelli to Newcastle, Divock Origi to Cardiff City, Christ above. Let's take a look at every Premier League club and the most bizarre transfer rumour that's been attached this month, either involving a player going out or a player coming in. There's been some weird ones. Arsenal, Aaron Ramsey. This one isn't so much a rumour, it's just stupid. Aaron Ramsey, a man who has scored in 2 FA Cup finals, is being allowed to waltz down to Juventus in the summer for free. For free, lads. Whoever's in charge of the contracts at Arsenal should be brought out back and shot in the leg, even if Ramsey doesn't fit Unai Emery's system. This is a man who's worth about, well, if Callum Wilson is supposedly worth 50 million, we're talking 70 million plus, and you're letting him walk out the door for less than that of a f***ing Kit Kat. Bournemouth, Callum Wilson. Speaking of Wilson, how on earth is he rated at 50 million plus? I even see some articles say that Bournemouth are going to chase Chelsea down for 70 million. I'm sorry, but if Chelsea pay anything over 30 million for this man, that is an absolute joke. Yes, he scored 9 goals this season. He's in great form. Have you ever heard of Josh King, Michu, or Roque Santa Cruz? Because they were one season wonders too. Wilson is a striker who's had his leg turned into city string on more than one occasion and has never scored double digits in the Premier League. And yet he's supposedly going to be worth what Real Madrid once paid for Zidane. Brighton, Alex McAllister. Brighton aren't linked with too many this window, but this one is fairly random. Alex McAllister is apparently targeted, despite possessing a name that sounds like it's destined for a stint to Kilmarnock. This is actually an Argentine midfielder playing for Argentinos Juniors. Burnley, Joe Hart. Remember when Joe Hart had a career? No, not me neither, but apparently there was one. Back in the goddamn Stone Age, it feels like. I swear to God, when Hart signed for Burnley in the summer, he must have thought, okay, surely this is where the decline to my career ends. Sat in the dressing room next to Phil Bardsley. Surely it can't get any worse than that. No, it can. Cardiff City, Mario Balotelli. Yes, despite Mario Balotelli practically buying the pen for an upcoming contract at Marseille, British journalists are still desperately trying to drag this man kicking and screaming back to the Premier League. You can get odds of 20 to 1 for the Italian to end up Cardiff City, the man who once claimed he'd end up winning the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, Chelsea, Willian. So apparently Barcelona are bidding £50 million again for Willian, with Malcolm reportedly offered in the deal. Now I can't believe that. They've wanted him in the past and Malcolm seems to be getting less action than Warwick Davis in a nightclub. But what I find most confusing is Chelsea fans' reaction to this.
This Willian news must be fake. There's no way we not accepting Barcelona's cash plus Malcolm bid. Even a signed Messi jersey plus cash for Willian is a good offer. Barcelona could give us an Ebola-ridden cow in return for Willian and I'd accept.
Here you have an example of a set of fans who were actively trying to pry away a winger who scored nearly 50 goals for the club and won 2 league titles. And yet on the other hand, they're practically tossing themselves off in the cupboard under the stairs at the thought of spending 70 million quid on Callum Wilson. Football logic, huh? Crystal Palace, Umar Nias. You know what, I'm actually shocked that Crystal Palace are still in the Premier League, considering they've been playing the last 6 years without a striker who knows where the goddamn net is. At the moment, their strikers read like a who's who of desperately dead careers. But Umar Nias, is he really the answer to their prayers? Let's ask Palace fans. Revealed 78% of polled Crystal Palace fans don't want Umar Nias to sign this month. Well then. Everton, CEDRIC SOARES. What's wrong with Seamus Coleman? Fulham, ALEKSANDR MITROVIC. Okay, I'm sorry, this one has to be bullshit. It has to be. ALEKSANDR MITROVIC, a man who was deemed not good enough to displace Joselu last season, and is also a fellow who's only scored 3 goals in September, and couldn't even score against Oldham Athletic last week, is essentially trying to be bought by Guangzhou Evergrande for £50 million. That is essentially like walking straight into a shop and handing the fellow behind the counter 50 quid for an expired yogurt. On what planet is Mitrovic, who is a walking headache and has the touch of a parish priest, worth 50 million? And why on God's green earth are Fulham turning it down? If that deal does go through, that means that clubs have paid over 70 million pounds for him in the last year. You don't see anyone paying that for Joselu. Huddersfield Town, Shinji Okazaki. To be honest, this is just desperate. You're stuck to the foot of the division, you can't score for love nor money, and you think Shinji Okazaki is the answer to your goal scoring prayers. A decent player, yes, but Christ above, the man has played 128 times for Leicester and hasn't even hit the 20 goal mark yet. If Huddersfield do end up spunking their budget on him, they might as well start booking trips to Portsmouth away for next season. Leicester City, MATTHIAS PHAETON. Apparently Leicester are linked with striker MATTHIAS PHAETON from Gingham. So good he doesn't even have a picture on Wikipedia. So good he stopped getting picked for France's underage level about 3 years ago. So good he has a grand total of 0 goals for Gingham this season, as they lie stuck to the foot of the French division. Yeah, I'm sure Leicester want him. Because why wouldn't they want another big bag of disappointment to put next to Kelechi Iheanacho in the dressing room? Liverpool, James Tarkowski. This we right up there with the Stephen Cochran move a few years ago. Maybe last year might have made sense considering James Tarkowski was actually playing well and getting into the England team, but now he's playing like an epileptic fish every week, forming one of the worst Premier League defences known to man, so No. Man City, Paulo Dybala. Paulo Dybala to Man City. It's almost as if the papers just ignore what Guardiola has blatantly told them. Man United, Philippe Coutinho. So apparently we're a year in and Barcelona already want to get rid of Philippe Coutinho. Despite spending what seemed like half a decade convincing him to move to Spain. It's sort of like pining after a girl for 5 years, and then once you do get together, it takes about 20 minutes to realise that she's the most annoying human being on the face of the earth. So fair enough, Barca might want to dub Coutinho. I can believe that, but moving to Manchester United, who are nearly 20 points behind the club he walked out on less than a year ago. No. Newcastle. No, okay, to be fair, Newcastle are linked with one player. One player, considering Mike actually has absolutely no intention of sticking his hand in his goddamn pocket this month. Well, not unless he's down the local pastry shop, in which case he'd probably pay with about 3 different credit cards. That fat Miguel Almiron is the one linked. Ever heard of him? Why would you? He spent his entire career out in Mexico and the MLS. A real superpowers of world football. So you know he's been testing himself. For Christ's sake, Newcastle couldn't even make Florian Thauvin work in this league. So what hope do they have coming up against a guy who's been playing against hungover builders for the last 12 months? Southampton, Ademola Lookman. Okay, I guess this one sort of makes sense considering Ralph Hasenhüttl worked with Ademola Lookman at RB Leipzig. But come on lads, you have absolutely no chance of signing him. He's a top prospect at Everton and they've already turned down £22 million from Leipzig for him. Can you really see Southampton parting with a club record 30 million quid for this guy? A kid with undoubted potential, but with less than 30 Premier League appearances to his name. Christ no. Tottenham, Moussa Dembele. Look, we know China have money. Okay, one club apparently wants to pay 50 million for Mitrovic, so clearly they have no sense either. So why are Tottenham not shaking them down for more money? Dembele is off to Beijing Guang for less than 10 million. Less than 10 million. This is a country that paid 60 million pounds for Oscar, 40 million for Paulinho, 20 million for Odion Gallo for Christ's sake. And you're giving them Dembele for 9 million quid? It doesn't make sense. Watford, Denis Suarez. Watford, Everton and West Ham linked with Barcelona's Denis Suarez. Denis Suarez to Watford. Oh my god. Where do they get these rumours? West Ham, Marko Arnautovic.
West Ham have a fantastic offer. It is close to double what they paid for him. He wants to go to a new market and challenge for titles. It's his great desire that West Ham accept the offer from China.
No, absolutely, I'm right there with Marko and his brother. I'm sure that when he grew up watching Henri Shearer and Vinicius Roy on the box, he always thought, you know what, I'd love to play out the back arse of China. Look, we get it, Arnie, they're gonna pay you insane amounts of money to play against a bunch of pub league defenders who look like they're afraid of the goddamn ball. But at least be honest, for Christ, he wants to challenge for titles. I wouldn't be surprised if the trophy was made out of fucking plastic. Wolves, Tammy Abraham. Well, this must be fairly embarrassing. Wolves getting turned down by a championship player. Look, fair play Tammy, he stuck to his word and he wants to stick it out at Aston Villa on loan, where he is the top scorer in the championship at the moment. I mean, let's be honest, Villa are not going up this year. And the only plans Chelsea have for this young man are to shove him back in the cupboard under the stairs. But it dodged, I'd say. I mean, 18 million is a lot of money for a lad who scored 5 goals in 31 appearances last season. Then again, paying 21 million for Dominic Solanke is bordering on a criminal offence. Alright, that's the end of the video, lads. What are some other rumours that I missed that are just absolutely borderline insane? Let me know in the comment section below. If you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like, share and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.